I've seen a lot of budget addresses, and this is one of those ones that is so unbelievably disconnected from reality of what's going on out there that it's reminiscent of the Blagojevich era. I mean, here you have a governor who is, on one hand, wants to increase government spending by $2.5 billion while only providing the citizens of Illinois temporary tax relief. I mean, people are getting hurt out there by, the power bills, food prices, the cost of living, and yet he wants to give them a temporary one-time, relief, yet he's increasing spending by $2.5 billion. He has done absolutely nothing about crime other than throw more money at it. He refuses to lock up violent offenders walking our streets. But where it is really disconnected from reality, when I say it goes back to Blagojevich had this great budgetary gimmick between when he was up for re-election, where he pushed off all the problems until after the election. Well, just like that time to this, Governor Pritzker is using these federal Biden bucks, which are taxpayer dollars, to make it appear that all is well. Well, people are going to wake up next year with one heck of a hangover when that money dries up and they're left with here's irresponsible and reckless spending. It is so far out of touch with the average Illinoisan to say that somehow, hey, your gas prices just went up permanently, your food bill just went up permanently, your power bill is up, everything is up, and yet we're going to give you one-time tax relief in an election year. How cynical is that? And then next year when the Biden bucks run out, oh, never mind the fact that we're broke again because we can't stop spending money. $2.5 billion in new spending. And yet he thinks the people of Illinois who are suffering tremendously under the pain of inflation should only get a one-time help. It's just so, it's so disconnected from the reality of what the people I represent are facing every day.
Senator, you mentioned a crime being an issue throughout the state. Is there anything that you want to remark on as far as Republicans bringing to the table?
Yeah, yesterday we refiled our Fund the Police Act to equip, train, support our men and women in blue, to help them do their job safely as they try to make the streets safe for us. But importantly, and this is the major, I believe, a major difference between Governor Pritzker and the Democrats and the Republicans. They refuse to lock up truly violent people. I'm not talking about so-called low-level nonviolent offenders. I'm talking about, hardened cons that are shooting people, that shouldn't even be walking our streets in the first place. Let me just say this. We filed our package in October before the veto session, asking them that they have a hearing on our bills to take violent people off the street and to once and for all support our men and women in blue as they do their jobs to make the streets safe for the rest of us. They refuse to do that, they being the Democrats. We filed it again yesterday. You know what? Within hours of filing it, in the area I represent, University of Illinois student was carjacked at gunpoint by 4 individuals, led on a high-speed chase after that. Later that night, the Myers store in Champaign had a shooting, okay? Yet all Governor Pritzker wants to do is throw money at something that may or may not work years down the road. Republicans want to take violent criminals off the streets today. Enough is enough, Governor Pritzker. Democrats in this House and the Senate, call our bills. We will meet you halfway. We will acknowledge and do acknowledge that we have to make the investments in in education and social spending to make sure that we're trying to turn people away from a life of crime. But Governor and Democrats, the people that have had a life of crime, that are continuing to walk our streets, make our streets less safe, shoot at school buses, hijack University of Illinois students, shootings at the Meijer, shoot police officers. Those people need to be off our streets immediately. And you guys have failed and are continuing to fail to act to make our state safe and to back the men and women in blue and help them be safe in the job they do in this state.